need to deal with culture, heritage and the Gaeltacht, and we're going to take motions 89 and 90. Is there a mover for motion 89 on behalf of Dublin South Central Constituency Council? Thank you.
Good morning, delegates. Michael Kinsley, Dublin South Central Constituency Council. This motion is about the national parks and the potential extension of the national parks. As many of you will be aware, the Wicklow Mountains National Park is a place of extraordinary natural beauty and a place of great amenity both to the area around Wicklow and also to people from Dublin City and further afield who use it for sporting reasons, for cultural reasons, and it has a very high ecological value. As you may be aware, in the recent past, the estate in Lugalaw, which contains within it about 4,000 acres, effectively in the middle of the national park, has become available for sale. And the estate at the moment and the land surrounding it consists of 4,000 acres of upland area of very significant ecological value. There is currently permissive access to that land, which is widely used by walkers, climbers, people appreciative of nature and the value of that particular area. If that estate and the lands around it falls into private hands, the risk is that that permissive access will end and that that land will be lost to the national park and to the state. The motion calls for and effectively supports a position taken by Mountaineering Ireland and indeed by the National Parks and Wildlife Service, which is the body charged with managing the national parks, that calls on the government to purchase the lands around the estate, not necessarily the house, the very famous stately home on the estate, but the lands around it. And by doing that, the state would ensure that access remains to that particular portion of land, but also the state would be gaining for itself an area of outstanding natural beauty, of great amenity value in terms of cultural value, sporting value, and a great tourist attraction, in fact. If anybody wants any indication that the permissive access may no longer exist if the estate falls into private hands, you need only go up there today and see the no trespasser signs that have gone up in the recent past. There is precedent for this. In 2016, the state acquired 4,000 acres, 4,900 acres, in fact, of land adjoining the Wicklow Mountains National Park in order to extend the park. They did that for the sum of €800,000, which is not a small amount of money, but considering the asset the state would be obtaining, it would be, if it's an indicator of price, it would be something that the state could certainly do from its resources. I suggest, delegates, that there is a wider debate to be had in this country about access to private land. I think the Labour Party should be the party that it stands up very strongly for the interests of the wider society as opposed to landowners. We talked about this yesterday in terms of the constitutional right to private property, and indeed I think it has implications for rural development. But I'd say this finally, the value of this particular section of land exceeds that of access only, please. And I'd finish only by saying I'd ask you to support the motion. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I allowed a bit of latitude there because it's an issue that's close to my heart in Wicklow. So, Sean, are you moving motion number 90? Now, have we a seconder, first of all, for motion number 89? It's formally seconded. Thank you, delegates. Sean, motion number 90.
Chahirig Sean O'Hergáin, Dáil Counter Carol Kilcunnig. Sean Céadúr le tamil go bhfuil rún ingailge an glár agus gan buchas the standing orders as what Glachalesh, and I thank all of you for your fortitude in actually reading through the whole motion. So it speaks for itself largely. Tá deis Gaelan ó Haven na Gaelna, and if I can be permitted, Chair, just to mention one specific person, be Jimmy Rogers, who's in Shaw Armaghan, and we owe Jimmy a huge debt of gratitude as a Gaeltacht activist, as an Irish language speaker, and the carrier of the flag I gunte Dunangal led Gluante and was Agus Mahu Jimmy. But I would have to say it's even more heartening, and I know it will be heartening for Jimmy, that I could speak Irish until the small hours this morning. Le anach dina óga nua atá takaisteach I barti an Lochdibre agus Gwilym Gaelan ar a Holica agus Curran Fáilte Bhór Roiv. In terms of this motion, it's Blian na Gaeilge. There's a huge positive story for the Irish language. In the last 5 census, the numbers of Irish language speakers outside and inside the Gaeltacht has risen, with the exception of a statistical reduction in the Gaeltacht in the last census. Tá sé anna-háta go leanna mídaraig ag takeú leis an danga in Achlí gur féidirlinn. And I'll make a couple of points in relation to our party that aren't in the motion. If it's good enough for the President of Ireland to have 50% of his posters as Gaeilge agus as Béarla Lilin and Actus, it should be good enough for his party that he led for 40 years. Bíimiist in our party dá hangach agus tosnómid an seo mar a dúirt mé an bhliain Chicago. All of our signage, all of the major promotion of our annual conference should be absolutely bilingual, de bhíl an 40 agus tá sé nám go raibh sé déanta. Comáile sin tá sé anna-hábhtach go leanna mídaraig go churann an tanga chun cín in Achlí gur féidirlinn. We need to stand with Gaeltacht communities in strengthening their everyday living, including the post offices as was previously described. Tací míad leis an danga, tací míad leis an Gaeltacht. Bíimiist brodúil mar 40 polytúil dá hangach. Let's remember, the language north or south doesn't belong to any individual political party. Let Labour stand full shoulder for the rights of Irish speakers north and south.
Thank you, Phil. Now, is there a seconder for the motion? Formally seconded. Formally seconded. Do you wish to speak, Delegate? Are you seconding the motion? Yeah, okay.
Good morning, comrades. Max Kelly, Galway West. I'd like to second this motion, and I'd like to draw your attention to the second last paragraph. I noticed this yesterday. The Irish language in the north is being politicised. The Good Friday Agreement and the St Andrews Agreement, the Irish language was set out that the government had to legislate on the Irish language. It has been politicised in the north. It always has been. I believe it's still illegal to speak Irish in a court in Northern Ireland. There are certain political elements in the north which are trying to unpick the Good Friday Agreement for various different reasons, Brexit being the obvious kind of motor of that at the moment. I think it's really important for the Labour Party to send this signal that all elements of the peace process in the north should be supported, and I think it behoves the Labour Party to put pressure on the Irish government to guarantee the agreements that were made. These are agreements between the British and Irish governments. I think the Labour Party should put pressure, because I feel at the moment the current government is taking its eye off matters in the north, and we should be putting pressure on them. I'd like to commend this motion to the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. Now, are there any speakers offering on these motions? Seamus? Now, it's 2 minutes, Seamus, whether it's Irish or English.
Agitira bawelum takula shanan chan agus nadini yela majarla changilake agus madurcha ta shennig nurtran agus tasha fetcha fucha in show agus boharta ve la changi agus culture agus lehchan agus a rask ta mahin morgune da rupun chan ta gobor nasla plan fi plien na Gaeltacht agus tasam goal aber war jante so Gaeltacht agus the midden Gaeltacht ag scolan agus lehchan a caimuj holorain shan na an changi boss agus tasha nacha a labin wash caimuj jiru or show agus chagi when at bio near bunch party be na eglische be Lecha Changi is a much na herna, and I would like to support this motion. I think we can, cross the divide. Just to give an example, last year at the Padre O'Donnell weekend in Arranmore Island, we had Linda Irvine from East Belfast down, who is, in fact, spreading the Irish language in that area. So, for there's a will, there's a way.
Thank you, Shane. Jerry.
Jerry Kerr, Dublin North West. I'm opposing this motion, comrades, and I might only get the same number of votes I got for the means testing a child benefit, but I still have to oppose
Jerry,
it.
which motion are you opposing now?
I'm opposing is it number 90 there?
Yes, okay, go ahead, yes.
Now, the reason I'm opposing is because since I went blind, I've visited all schools, Catholic, Protestant, Muslim, private, public, single-sex, and I'm absolutely convinced that the way forward for us is, as John Hume says, that the school is the melting pot of society, and within that unity you have diversity. So the rights of Irish language speakers should be within the state school, not going off into a separate type of structure. So I firmly believe, I've come across it where it saddened me, one particular religious school where the young girls wouldn't ask questions. So I think there's probably unintended consequences with the whole Gael School movement. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Now, as there are no further speakers, I want to invite Deputy Joan Borton to respond to motion number 89, and then I will ask Senator Aidan O'Riordan to respond to motion number 90. Deputy Joan Borton.
Thank you, Chair, and can I thank the mover of the motion. I think there's nothing like a fresh blast of Wicklow mountain air on a Sunday morning after a Saturday night, like a lot of the delegates appear to have had. So can I actually invite the Chairman of the Labour Party, given his very important statement there of support for the public acquisition of our heritage at Lugalaw and in the Wicklow Mountains. Can I invite him, and perhaps people who are here, that in a couple of Sundays we meet outside the entrance to the area, and we actually have a Labour demonstration to say that Lugalaw belongs to the people of Ireland. Now, I know Jack in the past has climbed many mountains, but we only want him to climb two more. One is obviously when he joins us in Lugalaw, and the second obviously is winning the seat back in Wicklow. And I believe the first Jack will contribute significantly to the second. Can I just say, Lugalaw is not only famous as an area of outstanding beauty used by hikers and walkers for generations, and Gareth de Bruyne, who lived in Lugalaw, was very, very generous with access to the estate. It's now owned by a trust from the Channel Islands. I think it is really important that the government goes into negotiation with the trustees of the Guinness Family Trusts. Guinnesses have been good to Ireland. Guinness is good for you, as their slogan used to say, but Ireland has been good to Guinness. And this is our heritage, and we should not allow, people who are international bankers have such a vital part of Irish heritage in their ownership. It's also the place where much Irish music development took place, and people from Liam O'Flynn to Seamus Heaney worked there, wrote there and performed there, as well as people like the Rolling Stones, and lots of films were made there. So in terms of Wicklow's heritage, it's specifically important in terms of what it has committed to Irish culture. It would be a fitting memorial to Gareth Brown, in which the Irish government and the Guinness family could cooperate to create a beautiful extension of the Wicklow National Park. Thank you, delegates.
Thank you, Joan. Aidan.
Grimima Jack agus just bhil am taú go hilas go thomna leis méid aráteach Seán mar de sé hain bhhaní sé goide go leir ag lena go héin ar maidin ná ag lena go héine gar maidin ach é sin ráte bhil am taú píbug leis méid bhí ráte ag Jerry Comá mar sé marm sé hain gur is le gach éon fáiste de tíir seo an gcuig an íháin dó siú tá freistar gailscona agus cordon a bheith seaasta le gach éon fáiste de tíir seo. Ná déananig go dearmid gur muide an drám a bhunig telefísin na Gaeilge, agus tá agad recordún seasta le muintin na Gaeltachta agus tó siúd a lear an Gaeilge ar fud na tíre. I would suggest, while backing this motion, I think Jerry makes a point that I think deserves more expansion, if you like. I believe that Irish language is for every child, It doesn't necessarily just belong to those who attend Gaelscoilne. I think we should move towards a situation where one a year in every primary school is taught exclusively through Irish, so that every child who leaves primary school has fluency in the language. Because I think if we're honest about the Irish language, it has been one of the biggest educational policy failures in Ireland. And if we were to give that gift to every child, no matter what primary school they were to attend, a full year completely through Irish, be it 4th class or 3rd class, I think we'd be giving them a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gift. But while Marderm Taka Leis an Rún a Taka Harshias.
Thank you. Now we're going to move to the vote on motions number 89 and 90. All in favour of motion number 89, please show. All against. I declare motion number 89 carried. And motion number 90, all in favour, please show. All against. I declare motion number 90 carried. And now